What's up, guys? How we doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Happy Friday. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. Started the weekend. If you're grinding, continue grinding. As mentioned, reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Without further ado, let's finish off chapter 12. It looks like chapter 12 is a bit of a shorter one, but without further ado, let's get into it. The 7 major positive emotions. The emotion of desire, the emotion of faith, the emotion of love, the emotion of sex, the emotion of enthusiasm, the emotion of romance, and the emotion of hope. There are other positive emotions, but these are the 7 most powerful and the most commonly used in creative effort. Master these 7 emotions. They can be mastered only by use, and the other positive emotions will be at your command when you need them. Remember, in this connection, that you are studying a book intended to help you develop a money consciousness. By filling your mind with positive emotions, you do not become money conscious by filling your mind with negative emotions. The 7 major negative emotions to be avoided: the emotion of fear, the emotion of jealousy, the emotion of hatred, the emotion of revenge, the emotion of greed, the emotion of superstition, the emotion of anger. Positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. One and the other must dominate. It is your responsibility to make sure that positive emotions constitute the dominating influence of your mind. Here, the law of habit will come to your aid, from the habit of applying and using the positive emotions. Eventually, they will dominate your mind so completely that the negative emotions cannot enter it. Only by following these instructions literally and continuously can you gain control over your subconscious mind. The presence of a single negative in your conscious mind is sufficient to destroy all chances of destructive aid from your subconscious mind. If you are an observant person, you must have noticed that most people resort to prayer only after everything else has failed, or else they pray by a ritual of meaningless words. And because it is a fact that most people who pray do so only after everything else has failed, they go to pray with their minds filled with fear and doubt, which are the emotions the subconscious mind acts upon and it passes on to infinite intelligence. Likewise, that is the emotion infinite intelligence receives and acts upon. If you pray for a thing but have fear as you pray that you may not receive it, or that your prayer will not be acted upon by infinite intelligence, your prayer will have been in vain. Prayer does sometimes result in the realization of that for which one prays. If you ever had the experience of receiving something for which you prayed, go back in your memory and recall your actual state of mind while you were praying, and you will know for sure that the theory here described is more than a theory. The time will come when schools and education institutions will teach the science of prayer. Moreover, prayer may then be reduced to a science. When the time comes, it will come as soon as humankind is ready for it and demands it. No one will approach it. No one will approach the universal mind in a state of fear, for the very good reason that there will be no such emotion as fear. Ignorance, superstition, and false teaching will have disappeared, and we will have attained our true status as children of infinite intelligence. If you have already attained this blessing, if you believe this philosophy is far-fetched, take a look at the human race in retrospect. Less than 200 years ago, it was commonly believed that lightning was evidence of the wrath of God, and people feared it. Now, thanks to the power of faith, we have harnessed lightning and made it turn the wheels of industry. Until relatively certain times, it was believed that the space between the planets were nothing but a great void and a stretch of dead nothingness. Now, thanks to this same power of faith, we know that far from being either dead or a void, the space between the planets is very much alive, that it is the highest form of vibration known, excepting perhaps the vibration of thought. Moreover, we know that this living, pulsating, vibrating energy that permeates every atom of matter and fills every niche of space connects every human brain with every other human brain. What reason do we have to believe that this same energy does not connect every human brain with infinite intelligence? There are no toll gates between the finite mind of humans and infinite intelligence. The communication costs nothing except patience, faith, persistence, understanding, and a sincere desire to communicate. Moreover, the approach can be made only by each of us ourselves. Paid prayers are worthless. Infinite intelligence does no business by proxy. You either go direct or do not communicate. You may buy prayer books and repeat them until the day of your doom without veil. Thoughts that you wish to communicate to infinite intelligence must undergo transformation such as can be given only through your subconscious mind. The method by which you may communicate with infinite intelligence is very similar to that through which the vibration of sound is communicated by wireless connection. If you understand the working principle of radio, TV, and cellular phones, you know that audio and video cannot be communicated through the ether until it has been stepped up or changed into a rate of vibration which the human ear or eye cannot detect. The sending station picks up the audio and video and scrambles or modifies it by stepping up the vibration waves and tones. Only in this way can the vibrations be communicated through the ether. After this transformation has taken place, the ether picks up the energy and carries that energy into receiving stations, and these receiving sets step that energy back down to its original rate of vibration so it can be seen and heard. The subconscious mind is an intermediary that translates one's prayers into terms that infinite intelligence can recognize, presents the message, and brings back the answer in the form of a defined plan or idea for procuring the object of the prayer. Understand this principle and you will know why mere words read from a prayer cannot and will never serve as an agency of communication between the human mind and infinite intelligence. Before your prayer will reach infinite intelligence, a statement of the author's theory only, it is probably transformed from its original thought vibration into terms of spiritual vibration. Faith is the only known agency that will give your thoughts a spiritual nature. Faith and fear make poor bedfellows. Where one is found, the other cannot exist. I like to talk about two things. One, that it's rather interesting to hear the respective author talk about, to some degree, religion and prayer, and how sometimes when we look at, let's say, for my own lack of knowledge, Christians or Catholics who, let's say they failed in something or they make a mistake in something, they go and, pray and forget their sins. Now, what this book is talking about, what this author is mentioning, that does no great value. Just saying mere words or saying mere thoughts and you're saying, hey, I'm sorry, or just forget about what I did, does nothing to what can happen in the future. Meaning, are you gonna be able to take actionable steps or ingrain in your mind that you will never do it again, rather than just saying, hey, I did it, let's forget about it. So that's one aspect. The other aspect I want to talk about was explain one good negative emotion and one good positive emotion out of the ones that were mentioned. For me, I think that love is a big proponent one, but more specifically, love of oneself. Being able to love yourself, being able to be confident in yourself and say, hey, I am who I am. Not many others are going to change that. And I love the way that I approach life. So that's one aspect, or that's one. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't want to yap for too long, but I also want to keep it concise. The second, or I mean, the other is negative emotions, out of the which were mentioned. For me, I think this kind of goes maybe go hand in hand, but revenge and hatred. In terms of, let's say someone does you wrong, or let's say someone did something wrong, that does not mean that you should feel with such emotions of revenge or hatred. Accept that they made a mistake, or accept that they did what they did, and let's move on, and let's see if we can make a change or an impact in their lives. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That is chapter 12. Moving on to chapter 13, which is the brain. Peace.